Fasten your seatbelts and please observe the no smoking sign. We are starting our descent to Lod Airport. If you look out your window, you can see Yisra-Ael.
Shalom, my name is Chaim, and I am your guide for your tour of Israel. You are welcome. Welcome to the land of the Bible. But let me tell you about Eretz Yisra-Ael. It is a country of boundless boundaries. It is a country where mothers learn the mother tongue from their children. It is a country where people write Hebrew, read English, and speak Yiddish. It is a country that is past 21 and growing up. And yet, look what we have accomplished in such a short time. Israel is a country where nobody expects miracles, but everyone takes them for granted. It is a country where every human being is a soldier, yet every soldier is a human being. It is the only country in which I could live. Such a small country, only a dot on the map with a name outside. Such a small country, but such a great big pride. Such an old country, here where the whole world began with the birth of man. Such a new country, so young and poor we are. But look what we've done so far. Look at the beautiful sky we have in such a short time. Such a short time. Look at the sea waves so high we have in such a short time. Such a short time. Look at the waterless land we have. See the abundance of sand we have. Look all the problems on hand we have in such a short time. Such a short time. Just feel the heat of the breeze we have in such a short time. Such a short time. Tourists who keep planting trees we have in such a short time. Such a short time. Long lists of what Israel owes we have. Why count the financial woes we have? Look the millions of foes we have in such a short time.
Such a short time. Just look around you. Don't look for the things I know we need them. People surround you. People with nothing but freedom.
Look at the spirit of youth we have in such a short time.
Such a short time.
Look at the wisdom and truth we have in such a short time.
Such a short time.
Look at the treasure of history. Don't stay a week, better make it 3. How can you see all there is to see in such a short time?
Such a short time.
Look at the
Miracles we have done. People who no longer have to run. Look at the battles that we have won in such a short time. Such a short time.
Tel Aviv. It's Israel's largest and liveliest city, but only a baby as world cities go. Tel Aviv, the hill of springtime, and I love her so. You say it's a nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live here? Why not? It's hot? So what?
Ocean bathing every day,
Splashing the Israeli rain.
go-go dancing every night.
Swinging where the lights are bright. And shopping is a need.
Down on Ben Yehuda Street,
Galilee's the avenue.
gold and diamonds just for you.
Tell me where.
Tel Aviv,
Take me there.
Tel Aviv. You can really live in Tel Aviv. If you want a place to meet,
Easy now would be the street.
like the intellectuals do,
And the dollar picnics too. If you want a bite to eat.
Dizengoff is still the street.
Fresh falafel just for you.
Even serve a hot dog too.
Tell me where.
Tel Aviv,
Take me there.
Tel Aviv. You can really live in Tel Aviv. It's a happening, it's a feast of Miami, of the Middle East. Yes, it's got a lot to give. You can really live in Tel Aviv. Hollywood is where you go.
For a show or Shakespeare show.
From an auditorium,
There's a Philharmonic store. Cinemas are plenty there.
crazy cafes everywhere.
Yes, you have a lot to do.
Everything is just for you.
Tell me where.
Tel Aviv,
Take me there.
Tel Aviv. You can really live in Tel Aviv. It's supposed to say the least. Of Miami, of the Middle East. Yes, it's got a lot to give. You can really live in Tel Aviv.
On the road to Jerusalem, there are no billboards, buildings as you ride, just burnt out tanks and trucks along the side, with names of many warriors who died on the road to Jerusalem. Jerusalem, the eternal capital of Israel. Jerusalem is old. Look at it this way. If you have an antique from your revolutionary days, it is not quite 200 years old. Look around you. There is Mount Zion, with the tomb of King David, 3,000 years old. There are the Dead Sea Scrolls in the Hebrew University. There is the Wailing Wall, all that remains of the great temple. There is the cenacle, the room of the Last Supper. There is the ultra-Orthodox Meyash Yarim. Every other building is a synagogue. Look over there, Mount Scopus, and the Mount of Olives. Don't lean too far, you'll be in Jordan. Jerusalem is very old, and very holy, and very beautiful. But look again, diesel buses passing by the donkeys, European clothes amid the Oriental robes, the modern Knesset where kings once governed, and the Crystal Mountain atmosphere cloaks this old new city with a mantle of piety and dignity. Jerusalem is as young as its latest victory. Here in Israel, if you don't believe in miracles, you are not a realist. Once, 5,000 years ago, the Lord said unto Abraham, "And I will give to thee and to thy seed after thee the land of my abode, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession."
Since the day when the Lord spoke to Abraham on the desert sand, they kept praying next year in Jerusalem,
Next year in Jerusalem,
in our promised land.
it's impossible, it's absurd.
But impossible is not a Hebrew word. All the way then through the course of history, centuries go by. They kept praying next year in Jerusalem.
Next year in Jerusalem,
There I want to die.
it's the craziest thing I've heard.
But impossible is not a Hebrew word.
If I forget thee, oh Jerusalem,
Let my right hand forget her skill.
if I should fail to just remember you,
Let my tongue cleave silent and still. I've always loved you and I always will. Would you say then it is not a miracle? Things worked out as planned. Now they're praying next year in Jerusalem,
next year in Jerusalem,
in our promised land.
it's impossible, it's absurd.
But impossible is not a Hebrew word. Since the time of Abraham, Jacob, David, Solomon, Noah, Moses, Joshua, and Saul, kingdoms go and kingdoms come, in holiest Jerusalem. Temples grow and then the temples fall. Captured by the Babylons, Egyptians and Assyrians, Greeks and Romans and the Ptolemies, Seljuks, Persians, Mamelukes, Arabs, Byzantines, and Turks, and so many other tyrannies. How can one have so many enemies?
It's impossible, it's absurd.
But impossible is not a Hebrew word. Diaspora days begun, all the Jews are wandering to the corners of the world alone. Europe, Asia, Africa, Russia, and America, not a country they can call their own. They are banished and expelled, massacred and put through hell in France and England, Spain and Italy, Portugal, Lithuania, Poland, Russia, Romania, and 6 million killed in Germany. how can we dream of ever being free?
It's the craziest dream I've heard.
But impossible is not a Hebrew word. But the Bible says, and it shall come to pass in that day, that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time, to recover the remnant of his people which shall be left. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Suddenly there is a legend started by a man named Herzl that the Jewish state could be a nation. Pinsker, Rothschild, Chaim Weizmann, writing, fighting for the Zion, then the hopeful Balfour Declaration. Finally in 48 we declare a Jewish state, but half Jerusalem was behind bars. Zion and Ben Gurion, and the 6-day war is won, and flags are there with blue six-pointed stars. The wall and all Jerusalem is ours.
Would you say that it is not a miracle? Things work out as planned. Now they're praying next year in Jerusalem.
This year in Jerusalem,
In the promised land. It's impossible, it's absurd.
but impossible is not a Hebrew word. When our everlasting land finds everlasting peace, and there is no threat of war, then we shall die.
Come with me through history, through the land of Galilee, along the Jordan River to Tiberias on the sea, to Capernaum, the home of the first miracle of loaves and fishes, a second-century synagogue on the Mount of the Beatitudes, to Nazareth, with holy shrines and Mary's well, and the cave where Mary and Joseph dwelled, to Caesarea, where Romans built a theater by the sea, and the only golf course in Israel happens to be, to Safad, the town of mystics and dreamers, high on the hills, with its old quarters and artist colonies, to Accra, with its forts and oriental bazaars, and the citadels, the Mosque of El Yazar, and then down to the sea to Haifa, hustling, bustling Haifa. Jerusalem studies, Tel Aviv plays, but Haifa toils with its ships and autos, cement and steel, and glass and oils. The biblical Mount Carmel, the vineyard of the Lord, with exotic flowers and grapes upon the vine, and the golden dome of the Baha'i shrine. Surrounded by day with the blue of Haifa Bay, and through the nights, a magic carpet of lights. It's like your San Francisco, and like your San Francisco, you will leave your heart. A sailor from the USA stopped for a day in Haifa Bay. A Sabra girl walked by his way. She couldn't think a thing to say. In love, in a dream, there they were. American hymn and Israeli her. High on the hills of Haifa, they met where the sea breezes blow. She whispered, Shalom,
She whispered, Shalom, and they knew love so true said hello. High on the hills of Haifa, they touched, and the meaning was clear. He answered, Shalom, he answered, Shalom, and two young hearts were never so near. The stars were ours to borrow, but only till the dawn. For she knew by tomorrow he would be gone. High on the hill of Haifa, they kissed with a tear in their eye. She whispered, Shalom, and he knew Shalom could also mean goodbye.
Nothing could be finer than tasting in a winery in the morning. Here, have a sample of the port L'chaim. It warms the heart. Permit me to introduce Esther, your Yemenite hostess. Now, have a sample of the sherry. To me. L'chaim, get it? Try the burgundy. He is looking at you. Ugh. Have some Slivovitz. I know it's too early in the morning, but go. Have some sweet Israeli cherry blossom. Blossom up. Ah, how sweet it is. But not as sweet as your lips, Queen Estella. Give me a little kiss. Come on. Just a little smoochy coochie. Who's this? The boss? Look, he's giving me champagne. He's trying to make nice. How about that? Okay. To life in Israel. L'chaim. I still think he's a cheapskate. Would you believe, at his own daughter's wedding, this little old winemaker served water?
The richest man in town had a wedding for his daughter, and all he served for food and drink was plain old ice-cold water. And when I asked him why, this was his reply.
Nothing but the best for my guests. Nothing but the best for my guests. No substitutes, no just as good as, and no brand name next. Nothing but the best for my guests.
At first I had a noble wish to serve the most expensive dish. I saw the peddler who sold fish and asked him, is your fish delicious? Is my fish good? How sweet it is! My fish as good as sugar is. I thought, why something just as good as. So I'll be applauding. My guest'll get sugar.
Nothing but the best for my guests. Nothing but the best for my guests. No substitutes, no just as good as, and no brand name next. Nothing but the best for my guests.
So to the sugar store I ran. Sugar sweet as honey, man. I ran to see the honey girl.
My honey's pure as olive oil.
The oil man said this oil of his is just as clear as water is. I I thought, I thought, she is my only daughter. If water is the thing, what if it costs nothing?
But the best for my guests. Nothing but the best for my guests. No substitutes, no just as good as, and no brand name next. Nothing but the best for my guests.
So drink, everybody, dance, everybody, nothing. Come with me over dunes and desert to the south of Israel, through the silent Negev. Through the silent Negev. Come and see Bedouin camel markets, lovely lunar landscapes in the silent Negev. In the silent Negev. Ashkelon, antique Roman statue, modern civic center, near the strip of Gaza and the violent Negev. The Dead Sea, pillars on the salt cliffs, one of which is Lot's light, lower than sea level. Silent Negev. The Red Sea to the port of Eilat, Moses once passed by here, Solomon had mines here. In the silent Negev, Masada, where the Jewish rebels died before the Romans, rather than surrender in the violent Negev. Come with me over dunes and desert to the south of Israel, through the silent Negev. 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 Take my hand, and I will take you through the Holy Land, here where the great religions of man began. Here is Beersheba, where Abraham, the patriarch leader of Judaism, lifted his head to his Lord and said, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Bethlehem town, close to the Dead Sea, here was born Jesus and Christianity. The sermons he gave, prayers became. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. One God, there is only one God. On sands of this desert walked a young man. Muhammad believed and Islam began. Praise be to Allah, the merciful. Thee alone we worship, thee we ask for help. One God, there is only one God. You go to your church and I go to mine, and we pray to to a different name. The words may be different, the words may be different, but the music is always the same. One God, there is only one God. One God, call him Jehovah or Father or Allah, blessed with a sword or a rod. There is only one God. Only one God. There is only one God. Only one God. Whether you're praying by kneeling or swaying, or close your eyes as you nod. There is only one God. For God is love, and God is truth, and God is Lord and King. God is soul, and God is peace, for God is everything. One God, there is only one God. Whether you pray in a church or cathedral, whether you pray in a mosque or a temple, whether you're Jewish or Arab or English, whether you're French or Italian or Irish, whether you're white or whether you're Negro, he will walk with us wherever we go. There is only one God. There is only one God. You go to your church and I go to mine, and we pray to a different name. The words may be different, the words may be different, but the music is always the same. There is only one God.
A visit to Israel would not be complete without a visit to one of our many voluntary collective communities, a kibbutz, which in Hebrew means group. We walk through a gate. There is always a gate, and there is always a tower, which is a combination water tower and watchtower. We see the kibbutzniks working in the field. Agriculture is usually their principal business, but some manufacture, and some even rent beds to tourists, on credit cards yet. As one of our great sages once said, kibbutzism is a great theory. The only trouble is, it can be realized.
Now what is the word for a group? Kibbutz. A most special kind of a group. Kibbutz. Where everyone's house is the same. Kibbutz. And what is the name of the game? Kibbutz. A good way of living, of getting while giving, is life in a little kibbutz. La 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 la, life in a little kibbutz. La 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 la, there's lots of singing and everyone swinging through life in a lively kibbutz. They all have the same radios. Kibbutz. They all wear the same size of clothes. Kibbutz. Whenever a cinema shows, Kibbutz. If one goes, then everyone goes. Kibbutz. If one gets the measles, they all get the measles. That's life in a little kibbutz. La 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 la, life in a little kibbutz. La 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 la. There's some romancing and lots of folk dancing to life in a lively kibbutz. country unjoined recently.
Kibbutz,
Said no special favors for me.
Kibbutz,
The whole kibbutz then did agree
Kibbutz,
to go on a diet salt-free.
Kibbutz.
They all had to study the Grecian philosophy, life in a little kibbutz. Life in a little kibbutz. Collective community sharing so happily, life in a little kibbutz. But life isn't all work and play.
Kibbutz,
They're on alert night and day.
Kibbutz,
For if a war comes our way,
Kibbutz,
they are the first in the fray.
Kibbutz.
They're there when
We need them, they're fighting for freedom and life in a little
Shalom. Shalom really means peace. And this word means so much to us, we use it to say hello and goodbye hundreds of times a day. Shalom. This is what Israel wants more than anything. But we have difficulty convincing our neighbors and the rest of the world. It takes two to tango, two to make war, and to make peace. We don't want to fight. We're too little. For instance, if someone should drop an atom bomb on Tel Aviv, it would destroy Cairo, Damascus, Beirut, and Amman also. If Jordan shoots at us and we duck, the shells hit Egypt. But maybe there is hope. Look at Jerusalem now. The Arabs in the new city, Jews in the old city. Salam, shalom. Could it mean peace?
We want a friend, so we extend the hand of peace. We want a land of peaceful land where all war cease. We pray to see the day, no war forevermore. Shalom, we want shalom. What can we do to prove to you we want shalom? For Isaiah the prophet has spoken, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, nor shall they know war anymore. You'll see no enemy. You'll be forever free. Shalom, we want shalom. What can we do to prove to you we want shalom?
Flight 711 to New York, ready to board at gate 7.
New, which means this is it, baby. Time to split, baby.
Only with me could you do so much in such a short time. Look at the fights and the fun we had. Look at the feeling of one we had in such a short time.
Would you say then it was not a miracle? Things worked out as planned. We'll be meeting next year in Jerusalem.
Next year you will come again.
God's helping hand.
It's impossible. It's absurd.
What impossible is not